heart and lungs, causing massive internal bleeding. Within seconds, he died from the injury, collapsing lifelessly on the swing set, according to the story.
Oh, what story? You just made that up. The seesaw catapult urban legend? This was a shower thought.
The tattoo is carefully cut out of your skin after you die, and it's removed in one clean piece, making sure not to stretch the artwork.
Why?
It's soaked in chemicals that stop bacteria from eating your skin, and this also locks in the colors. Once
they put this in an art museum or
something,
something?
it's flattened to keep its original shape. And finally, it's framed, allowing your loved ones to keep a part of you.
What? Because you have to really think, what if one day a toddler gets really curious, breaks out the frame and tries to eat it? They're like, oh, that looks edible. Try to eat it, and they're like, it's just delicious. Hey, Mom, you have another one of these? Oh, I want to know what culture does that. What culture preserves dead people's tattoos? I don't know how to pronounce that, but of New Zealand historically preserved tattoo heads as part of their mourning rituals, while 19th and 20th century Japan and Europe saw physicians and collectors and collected a preserved tattooed skin, sometimes with the owner's wait, how do you get the owner's consent if they're passed away? Who's the owner of the dead body? You know what? Think it's too hard. Let's keep it pushing.
If you drank Coke and then swallowed Mentos, you might think the reaction would rip through your torso.
I know, I never thought about that.
It happens when the gas builds up fast in a tight, narrow space. And your stomach is way too wide.
He just called us fat. Your back is way too big for this to happen. Yeah, nothing's about to explode inside of you, buddy. Trust.
To create that reaction. Even if it was, drinking the Coke releases most of the gas before it gets there. Instead, the mixture would foam up, filling your stomach. It would painfully stretch to hold the expanding foam, causing you to violently vomit to relieve the pressure.
At least you don't poo it all out, right? Just aggressive poots throughout the whole day? Or is that better? I don't know. A quick vomit or aggressive poots throughout the day? It depends if you're busy that day. If I have to go to an interview, I'm not trying to poot the whole time.
Can money actually grow on trees with enough science? Well, you'd have to look at the tree's DNA
I don't
and find
think so.
the parts that control.
Because I've talked to a couple of trees.
Using a special protein, make a tiny cut in genes that control shape and color. The DNA will try to repair itself.
It's not gonna work.
As it does, you can sneak in new
We would have done it if we could.
The new leaves will start to grow the way you want, getting more rectangular and developing white patterns.
How long would that take, though?
You'll get closer and closer to what you want over time. Meaning,
how much time?
You could actually grow money on trees.
Or you could just use a printer. That's why we're not growing money on trees. But if we had to grow money on trees, you best believe they would have been done that.
If over 1 million people somehow pulled out their stomachs, the acid could fill a pool about this size. And if you jumped in, after a few minutes, you'd feel a horrible burning sensation.
That makes sense.
As your outer layers of skin started to melt away.
If
you stayed in for hours, it would keep breaking you down layer by layer, eating through your muscles and tissues.
The more you know.
After a few days, your body would literally start falling apart as the acid dissolved it, turning you into a slimy mess.
That's kind of hot.
If you got onto an indestructible water blob and a car was thrown on the other side,
where do you think of these scenarios at?
Hundreds of feet into the air. Now, if a blue whale was dropped onto it, they could catapult you over 10 miles high.
10 miles?
Fell from space.
It would explode.
Into the blob.
Like, I'm saying the area would explode.
Compress the blob and would blast you upward faster than a rocket. You would shoot past clouds and break into the outer layers of Earth's atmosphere. Hopelessly floating through space.
Yo, that had to happen to at least one dinosaur, bro. Like, at least one of them had to be on some blob in the middle of the ocean and got catapulted up. And that's how we got the moon. Never mind. That's how we got the holes in the moon, like the craters. Catapulted dinosaur. I'm onto something.
You can put almost anything in a shotgun shell and it will still work.
Okay.
So if you had a shotgun the size of a building and a shell big enough to fit you, could you load yourself into it?
But I mean, you just said everything, but you would just explode, right?
Powder ignites, you'd be launched out at 1,000 miles per hour. The acceleration would crush your body instantly. And if that didn't kill you, the burning hot gases would cook you alive. Now, even if you somehow managed all that,
These
blasting
are
out
like some crazy shower thoughts. Because no, I'm not thinking about a shotgun throughout the day normal. Now look, I know some people maybe. The further you go south, the more shotguns are being thought of. But at the same time, who's thinking about putting themselves in a shotgun? You know, like maybe like putting an acorn in it, a couple of sticks. You know, maybe you think of that casual hypothetical, we all think of, like, oh, what happens if I were to put my testicles in a shotgun? Something we all like thought about. But once we start leaving out of that range, it's like, why am I thinking about putting things in the shotgun shell? There's like a cap. After that cap, it's just like you're thinking about nonsense.
If you cut open a cockroach, you'll
nasty.
get a tiny bit of cockroach milk. And that's because they produce this yellow goo to feed their babies, which then hardens into a crystal. Now, these crystals actually have more nutrients than cow's milk, but each roach only...
So we should eat roaches. I just see a roach's pooper. What is that hole?
Cow's milk.